My name is Tom and I'm an alcoholic. In an effort to improve outreach to members in the armed services who may be struggling with an alcohol problem, we're collecting interviews from current AA members serving in the U.S. and Canadian Armed Forces to share the experience and strength and hope they have found in Alcoholics Anonymous.
My name is Steve R. I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date is the 11th of May, 2010. So I haven't had a drink since. Stay connected with the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, and that's keeping me on the right path. I probably started drinking as an early teenage boy, and then I joined the military right out of high school. I took some time to think about my future and where I would end up, and college wasn't quite for me. And I figured that military would be the right choice given the security of the job and the training that they offer. All free of charge. I just had to put up with a bit of boot camp and a few other little things on the side. And then I had already some sort of cadet experience. I did 9 years in Sea Cadets and ended up becoming an officer cadet. And that was in 1989 is when I began my service in the military. I enrolled as a naval radio operator. So with technology, we've amalgamated with the signalman trade and became what is now known as the naval communicator trade. I did a few 6-month NATOs. A couple of those I don't quite recall because of my alcoholism. I did get into some trouble. But it seemed to be the culture at the time, and everybody was drinking. So what would happen is if you got into a bit of trouble or if you were late, they had like a 5-day intervention workshop just to highlight maybe you're drinking a little too much. Just for some, it might have been the shake that they needed or the wake up call. But for me, it didn't stop there. So I did the 5 days and then kept on trucking and got into some trouble. And due to some of that drinking, I ended up getting confined to ship in some of the ports. So I missed, for example, Bermuda. I got some trouble there, and I had to watch Bermuda from the flight deck on board the ship. I never did get to go because of my drinking and the outcomes. My drinking, at the end of it was it was not just a one-night affair. It was going into a 5-day binge, starting on a Thursday with a wing night event. And then Monday, I'd have to try to shake it off and get back to work. So it just so happened that I had a medical appointment. I went in to see the doctor after one of these binges, and she had mentioned that she could smell liquor or alcohol. And lo and behold, I'm in there trying to get blood work done and try to figure out what's going on, but yet I wasn't quite disclosing my full amount of alcohol that I would consume. I remember filling out forms and it would ask you, how much alcohol do you consume per week? But I was fudging those numbers. I didn't want people to go into shock. So I went in and I finally sort of broke down there because I couldn't do it anymore. So she had mentioned, there's support upstairs. She knows the director up there, and I went up and saw the lady, the director of the treatment facility, and I wasn't ready to occupy a seat on a program. Let's put it that way. But I kept going to see her. I guess she was trying to root for me. That was the thing. And I also remember going to my first AA meeting. And then I wasn't quite ready to put the hand up, I guess. So what I was doing was in the meeting, I was trying to prove that I'm a non-alcoholic. As people would bring up their stories, I would say, no, I didn't lose my wife. I didn't lose my car. I didn't lose. So I was in there and I'm younger than these people. And so I left there thinking, I don't qualify for this program. So maybe it's a phase I'm going through. I think in the back of my mind, I was pretty well there, but I just wasn't ready for it. And I went out and I kept drinking. So that was sort of my initial trips to AA and experience. And then when I also thought that AA would show me how to drink responsibly. I thought this was a group of hardcore drinkers who are coming together to figure out how they can have sociable drinks. So that idea was smashed pretty quickly after a few meetings. It was a Monday, and my best friend had showed up to my place to pick up something, and he noted that I was still there, not at work. And he's like, "What's going on? Why are you not at work?" And he quickly realized that I was drunk. So there were some emotions there, and I ended up calling the AA helpline. And I talked to a gentleman, he's since passed, sober. I spoke to him, and he had mentioned that Monday night there's a meeting at Grateful Group. So I went up there. I was pretty shaky. I was, pretty hungover, you name it, all kinds of body parts, feeling sore. I went up there, and it was amazing the welcoming that I got up there and support, experience, strength, and hope that they, showed me was unbelievable. And to this day, that's my home group. So I still go Monday nights because I had that history and that, initial interaction where I was at my worst, and they stood by me, and they're still there today. It's amazing. Just another point on the 28-day treatment program. For me, that was, I think that was like the foundation of my being sober, because we had, I don't know, I would suspect in a lot of these treatment programs, that period during the day where you have like group sessions, and you really get into the weeds of what's going on. So that sort of opened the eyes for me. And along with that, it gave me the background, some knowledge of the disease of alcoholism. So I could sort of see it in like a chemical perspective, the parts of the brain on Friday, they would look for that fix because they knew they were getting, the brain's getting it every Friday, the euphoric feeling. A lot of this stuff was explained, guest speakers, 12-step speakers. It was a win-win. It was a huge thing. Thank you for letting me take this opportunity to share my experience, strength, and hope. And like I had mentioned, if people would just give it a chance, and have an open mind, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. How we hear it a lot, but it's so true. It's not cliche if you really look at it. But if they have an open mind and realize that it's amazing what you'll get, the benefits, not only for yourself, but the people around you, your family, and your friends, it's well worth the shot.
Steve, thank you very much.
The views and opinions expressed during this podcast are those of the individuals. No one person speaks for AA as a whole. For more information about AA, please visit our website at aa.org. To find a meeting near you or a meeting online, download the Meeting Guide app on your mobile device.